Afternoon again to you, James. You're with the people who are celebrating there. You're continuing to speak to some of the people there. What have they got to say about Victory Day? Does it really fit in the 21st century?
Well, very much so. All you have to do is to see the huge numbers of people that have come here to join in the commemorations of the 63rd anniversary of the surrender of the German High Command.
James, is there any chance that those who are still unaccounted for are alive?
It's been over 48 hours now since the initial explosion on Sunday, and obviously the more time that goes on, the less likely it is that those men are going to be brought out alive. People are still attempting to continue the rescue operation though, but with more bodies coming up now. It's now 88 people. This is now the worst mining disaster in Ukraine's post-Soviet history. More than 30 people used to live on the top floor of this retirement centre. Now soot-covered rooms and blackened stairways are all that remains of their home. They were trapped here late on Wednesday evening when a fire broke out in the main hallway. These burned-out floorboards are all that's left of the place where the fire began. Within just minutes, it had spread throughout this entire corridor. The room behind me is filled with things that residents just didn't have time to collect, but they were some of the lucky ones. They all made it out alive. 10 others didn't. Things move slowly in the village of Klishina. Most residents live in wooden houses. There's virtually no public transport, and conversations are more likely to focus on the grandkids than goings-on at the Kremlin. But that doesn't mean this year's presidential elections are passing them by. The old town hall has been transformed into a polling station, and even with wind chill taking temperatures down to -15, people are out and casting their votes. For 83-year-old Ivan Dubinin, it's worthy of his Sunday best. He's lived in Klishina all his life, and is nicknamed Ivan with the Golden Fingers. He built his own house from scratch, and he's still a dab hand with an accordion. He hopes the new president will continue Putin's policies. But not everyone is as happy with how things are. When you've got a family to look after, and large numbers of hungry animals to feed, it often doesn't leave much time for politics. Life in the village can be hard work, but most wouldn't have it any other way, although some will be looking for the new president to make some serious changes.
Let's catch up now again with our correspondent James Brown, out and about live tonight, conducting his own exit poll on the streets of Moscow. Evening again to you, James. Indeed, good morning now. So, if you've got for us this hour, what have they got to say then?
Well, once again, the sleet and the rain unfortunately have returned in vengeance, so most people now probably quite sensibly getting off the streets. But various different people that we've been speaking to have been talking about what they've been doing today, and most people, as it seems the rest of the country have done, have seemed to have voted in the favour of one man, Dmitry Medvedev. It seems to be that people think that he's the best choice to take Russia through these next 4 years. Appearing by video link from his holding cell, Semyon Mogilevich covered his face with his hands as he was told he was staying in prison. The man alleged to be the head of the largest Russian mafia syndicate in the world cut a pitiful figure as he appealed for bail. The first round in Semyon Mogilevich's fight against these tax evasion charges has gone firmly to the Russian authorities. He now faces potentially months in jail before his case even comes to trial. And with up to 6 years in prison awaiting him if he's convicted, the man they call Russia's brainy Don is going to need all his wit and intelligence if he's going to clear his name. The quiet scenes here in Bishkek all point to a low turnout in today's election, a situation which can only benefit President Bakiyev's Akjol party. But opposition forces have already said today's results are likely to be fraudulent, and that if they can't make their point at the ballot box, they may take their supporters and make it on the streets. The No to Base movement are hoping that noisy, colourful demonstrations like this one will force the Czech government to shelve their plans to put a missile defence system on Czech soil. But with a majority of parliamentarians in favour of the motion, they've got a serious fight on their hands. Denis Smirnov, who is the head of the forestry programme for the World Wildlife Fund here in the Primorsky region, has joined us. Denis, thank you very much for being here today.
How critical a situation is this?
Tver itself is really kind of a logistical hub because it's right in between Moscow and St. Petersburg, so new industries were springing up there. But after we'd sort of made trips into the town, we had a chance, which was what I was really looking forward to, was getting out into the countryside.
You have to be pretty fit to work on the Zatina Tower, but it's only from way up here that scientists can conduct the research which they hope will let them discover exactly how humans are contributing to the greenhouse effect. Now, this is what I was hoping for when I heard I was coming to a place called Wolf Island, a chance to get up close and personal with the locals. And it's these guys who are going to act as foster parents for the next generation of wolves who come here.